All right, everyone, you asked, remember, you brought this on yourself. You asked, because I'm a bit of a Crye Precision hoe bag, technical term. You asked, but what about the UF Pros? You all wanted to talk about UF Pro. So guess what Papa did? Papa got some UF Pros. Specifically, I got the Stiker HTs. I'll make this commitment to you. In this video, I'll go through the Stiker HTs. I'll go through the Cryes. It's an important caveat because the gen of the Crye makes a huge difference. We'll go through UF Pro, we'll go through Crye, and as much as I hate to do this, I will tell you which one I think is better. So let's start with UF Pro here. So for a lot of folks, they won't even know UF Pro. It's kind of one of those little bit of a cool kids thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like if there was some like fucking, if Nike was huge, right? And everyone's into Nike, but there's this company that no one really knows about that makes really nice shit. And you would be like, fucking, everyone wears a Nike. Everyone knows about that. Like, the real cool kids, they wear this shit. I feel like that's what UF Pro is these days. It's like one of those, if you know kind of things. We don't know about it as much in the States because they're huge in Europe. So the Stiker HTs, I'll give you a little tour here, okay? Let's just start at the bottom. We're gonna work our way up. Okay, so let's do this. It's gonna be a little bit of a, almost like I'm in some low budget porn here, the way I'm gonna sit, but let's talk about this, okay? That's interesting. So you got these on the back of your pants, right? So you got this little zipper, that way you could accommodate a bigger work boot. And you can tighten these bad boys down if you needed to stay tight on top of that work boot, okay? Got a little calf pocket. The Cryes, of course, will have these. Probably a lot of pants have these days, but it's cool. I could put like my breech charge there, right? When I breach things, this is the kind of zone where I would want to put that. They have this. I thought this was frankly, okay, if we're going to talk about stuff that's, I'm going to kind of rank Crye versus UF Pro as we go. This is something you got to go, okay, points to UF Pro. Again, for folks unlike myself who are actually doing real things with these pants. This basically will clip into your boot so that you can secure these pants to your boot. That's their knee pad system. So I will tell you, I'm actually quite a fan of this. So one, we got some stretch material underneath here. That way when I'm going prone, right, obviously I've got a little bit of stretch there. But here's what I like. So this is, you know, it's almost like the equivalent of like soft armor or something. You know, you can throw rifle plates on that are really tough. So they've got some knee pads that you could actually throw in here that are hard knee pads, right, that you would just slide in there, and then you've got real deal knee protection. But these ones that are on here, frankly, are pretty cool, and definitely, because the question will come up like, how much padding does this give you if you were to just drop down and take a knee? It's gonna sting a bit if you're just dropping down on a concrete with just this, but you look cool as shit. Because really, like, if you want to go full asshole, walk around as a civilian with built-in knee pads in your pants. Like, what are you, fucking Bane? Are you in the new Christopher Nolan Batman movie? Like, what are you doing with yourself, okay? So, but I have to admit, I do like those knee pads. Now, one of the hallmarks really of UF Pro, and we're gonna have to talk about this, okay? Because it's one of those things, there's really no way to show you. There we go. A light, good? We're good here in the zone? So we have a zipper right here, okay? You will notice underneath that zipper, we have this nice mesh. That whiteness you will see popping through, that's my skin, okay? Same thing on the other side, okay? Now, here's where things get a little bit awkward, okay? Now you're gonna want a full body shot for this. You're gonna wanna be able to look me in the eye, okay? You're gonna notice a couple zippers that are running right here. In here is more of a nut sack zone. So I call this the NVS. I don't know what they call it. I refer to it as the NVS, AKA the nut ventilation system. Now how it works, and this is why it gets a little awkward, okay? Mesh, vent, okay? Dick underneath that, okay? The other side, and this is why it's just, you gotta buy UF Pros knowing this in advance. If we're in public and we're like talking and we're like at a bar or something and we're talking, and I just fucking unleash the nut ventilation system, it feels good. It feels good. To the person that you're talking to, they don't know if a nut's about to come out of this zipper. We don't really know what's going on. Okay, so when it heats up, you unzip these bad boys, you unzip these bad boys, and I got a nice draft that's going through these. So if I needed to bug out and walk, no problem. I got airflow, we're good, okay? A couple other things. So these pockets, we have this. This is, I believe they call like either like a knife or a flashlight or something like that. Mine primarily gets used as a sunglass holder, okay? So I've been wearing these for about 2 weeks now. I am a fan, I will tell you that. This has been a phenomenal sunglass holder. I'm missing a pocket that's really designed for a cell phone pocket, again, because these are meant for people who actually use them. Obviously, we've got standard pockets here. And then we've got these, zipper versus Velcro. So there's no Velcro anywhere on here, which is a difference between Crye's and UF Pros. So you decide, do you want a zipper? Do you want Velcro? That's up to you. We've got a little bit of stretch here. So if you're doing squats, if you're kneeling, right, and taking that shot, no problem, the pants are gonna bend with you. It's gonna be a little graphic, but I'm gonna show you one other thing, okay? That is a big distinguishing factor between these and the Crye. So one, we don't have like a waistline adjustment, but just the way that these things, now I told you, okay, if you got the kids and you're all watching this on the sofa, it's like Wednesday night and you're watching 1911 Syndicate, hide the kids for this part, okay? So the way these bad boys go, so we have a button there, and then this is up. See that? It's one of those clips. The problem with that is if you get fatter, okay? If you get fatter, because I bought a 30, just so everyone has a sense of how lean I am, I wear a size 30 waist. This, if you packed on a little weight, this thing could get real tough, and there's no like Velcro that you can make tighter or looser, and there's no waist adjustment, so just keep all of that in mind. Okay, two other considerations. One, versus the Cryes, there's no way to either cinch down that knee pad. There's nothing there to cinch that down. There's also nothing to elevate it so that it finds exactly where it wants to go on your knee. So if you're looking for like maximum precision with where that knee pad lands, take that into consideration. The other thing is price. Everyone will ask. So these are $227 MSRP. I know some people just have one of those like gasps, like you could spend $227 on tactical combat pants. Yes, you can. You can actually spend more than that, okay? But they're certainly not cheap. They're in that like top tier of tactical apparel price tags. But the question inevitably it's gonna ask, how does UF Pro compare to Crye Precision? Okay, on to part two. How do the UF Pro stack up against, keyword, Gen 3 Crye Precisions? So these are the Crye Combat Pants, okay, not their field pant. Main difference being the ability to accept knee pads, okay, and some of the different adjustments and whatnot. But these are, I just happen to have both those pairs in black multicam. So let's give you the quick rundown. We have ankle adjustment, Velcro versus the little more new age UF Pro version. So we do have that. We have, again, my breech pocket for breeching all kinds of things, really. Different knee pad system, okay? Frankly, Crye's knee pad system is a little, like, on these, a little clunky, right? Basically, you have to get rid of that flap, move that flap down, then the knee pads go in, and they Velcro into the backside of that, okay? And this is all stretchy material in here, technical term, stretchy material, so above the knee, inside of the knee pad, all this shit stretches. Now, here's what I was talking about, the difference. So, place a knee pad. Look, if I place a knee pad on these right now, well, that's really where my knee is. That's where the knee pad is going to be closer to down here. So it's not as helpful. So what you can do, you can tighten this down so it cinches exactly where you want it to go. Then you come in this pocket up here, you take this, you pull this. So now I get that knee pad exactly where I want it to go. And that is a big point for Crye Gen 3, is the ability to get those knee pads, again, for the operators, to get those things exactly where you need them to go. Got this pocket, again, all this stuff is Velcro versus zippers. Is that good, bad? I don't know. It depends. Like, is noise a real consideration for you? Like, zippers break. Velcro is probably less likely to break. I don't know. All stuff for you to weigh. Inside here, you've got an M4 pocket. It's going to be tough to show you, but right here, a mag could go in there and actually get secured. So we got that pocket. And on these, this tab you will see is designed for tightening down that waistline. So, and the waistline, as discussed, doesn't have that clip that does not help in the thicker months. So you've got Velcro, so you can make it a little looser, a little tighter, however you want that to be. Retail price on these things is $274. So if you thought $227 sounded bad on the UF Pros, they're 50 bucks more. Okay, so how do these two compare? It is a damn close race, I'll be honest with you. And if you were really like saving up to get like a great pair of pants and you're like 50 bucks does make a difference, I'm telling you, you're gonna love these. If it came down to it and you're like, well, I can afford these but not these, fuck it, get some UF Pros, 100%. They're of similar material. These Cryes are a lot more worn than the UF Pro, but in terms of comfort, and let's be honest, a lot of us who are wearing these things are not kicking doors. We are taking the trash out because the trash man comes on Friday morning. We got to take that shit out at 11 p.m. Right? At 11 p.m., there could be murderers out there and you might have to hit the deck, right, and pull up a sidearm, right? So that's the kind of shit most of us are doing with these. I've mentioned before, Trader Joe's runs things of this nature, pumping gas, you know, different things like that. So if you're in that category, and even if you are operating, I think comfort should be critical. And I will tell you, these are very similar, and they're a very similar, that Cordura material. I don't know if it's Italian, but I just made the word Cordura. I just made it Italian, okay? These are a very, very similar materials. If I'm being perfectly honest, because I promised you I would answer this, if it came down to Crye Gen 3s, UF Pro, Stiker HTs, why did you guys put me in this scenario where I gotta answer this stupid question? Honestly, UF Pro, Stiker HT. But Jake, hang on. Didn't Crye come out with Gen 4s? So Crye had made a Gen 1, they made a Gen 2, Gen 3. UF Pro's like, okay, yeah, we can handle that. Like we can do that. And they do all their NVS and all the crazy stuff that they did on those pants. And then Crye was like, okay, well, I guess someone wants to play that game, so fucking Gen 4s. And let me tell you something, okay? I've talked about these pants before, but if you want to talk about glory in its finest, you're looking at them, okay? Some of the stuff has stayed the same, so we've got, you know, Velcro, ankle closures, pretty similar to the last ones. Guess what we have instead of a Velcro zipper? Ooh, very, very quiet zipper. Listen. You could operate with a zipper that quiet. This is gonna be of critical importance, okay? Crye said, if you wanna cool your nuts off, we can cool your nuts off. Like, this is not that big of a deal. Like, you know, so they were like, okay, we'll put some mesh. Inside of the old knee pad pockets there, okay? And then we'll run it up to your thigh, right? So it's more of a thigh system, but still you get the idea. Now, one thing, if I'm being completely objective on this, is that you can't cinch this knee pad down. Like, you can't Velcro the whole thing shut like you can on the previous gen. So this thing is just openly flapping. So same thing, you can adjust the knee pads there. You can get inside of here. Is it this one or the, yeah, there it is. And you can adjust those knee pads up or down depending on how you see fit. One thing I really like that they did with this pocket, let's see, I'll show you. Okay, so that's how the pocket goes. It's very like slim, low pro, but what's really cool, if you look at the shape of that pocket, how that flap is designed, it perfectly goes in there so that you can basically leave these pockets accessible all the time without this obnoxious flap. It's a little touch, but frankly, it's a little touch that matters. Again, we've got our pocket here. This one, hey guys, right? So that goes all the way through for your, I don't know, flashlight, knife, sunglasses, whatever that may be. Obviously standard pockets, waist adjustment, standard stuff there. We've got Velcro back here instead of zippers, which I suppose is probably a little more comfortable versus that zipper potentially just hitting an ass cheek, but you know, kind of all pretty much the same to me. These are so absurdly comfortable that I wear them around all the time because they're simply mind-blowingly comfortable. UF Pro did a phenomenal job on this, okay? There is a clear king of the castle though. It's Crye Gen 4s. I don't even see how you can dispute it. Are they $279? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Will you potentially need to cash in some stocks in order to buy a pair of these? By the way, it's $279 without knee pads. Yeah, you might need to tap in your 401k a little bit. Is it okay? Yeah, I think so. I'd sign off on it. I think most financial advisors would agree with me. Check with your CPA before you do that though. This in no way is a knock on the UF Pros. I think they're great. I really think they're great. Like I've really come to love these pants in the past couple weeks. I think they're phenomenal. There's a lot of stuff that was forward thinking that they did that not a lot of other companies, almost no other companies are doing. They're excellent. But this is just next level. I mean, about the only cons I could possibly tell you is, as discussed in a previous video on these pants, the fuzzies, okay? It's another technical term. They just collect these little like lint balls all over them, you know? And that might not bother you if you're out like in the bush surviving or like in the jungle, you know, doing some recon or something. But, you know, they attract little fuzzies, so be aware of that. And about the only other thing I can tell you is they only come in multicam. This multicam, not black or tan or desert, whatever. You should get UF Pro Stiker HTs. You should. They're great. You should get Crye Gen 3s. If I was picking between the two, UF Pro. But once we say UF Pro versus any Cryes, it's tough. That's tough. And my heart lies with Crye. And true to being a Crye whore until I die today, I am still a Crye whore.